Let's be honest, if you think SEO is still just about jamming keywords into a page and building a few backlinks, you are playing a game that ended years ago. Today, we're diving into the massive, and I mean massive, shift from a simple list of links to a world run by answer engines. We're going to talk about what that really means for anyone, and I mean anyone, who wants to get found online.
You know, this quote right here just hits the nail on the head. That old, reliable formula, find a keyword, write an article, get some links, and then just sit back and watch the traffic roll in. I'm sorry to say it, but that playbook is completely dead. The entire game has been flipped on its head.
So how did things get so complicated so fast? To really get a grip on where search is going, we first have to take a look back. We need to see where it all started. Okay, let's rewind the clock to what we now call SEO 1.0. You could call this the golden age, right? It was a time of, well, simplicity. The path to getting seen on Google was a straight line. It was a process you could repeat, you could understand it, and you could master it. And this was the entire playbook. I mean, look how straightforward this is. A simple 5-step process. Find your keyword, write some great content about it, publish it, rank in Google, and boom, get the traffic. The most important part here, every single step happened on your website. You were in complete control of the whole process. And the goal couldn't have been clearer. Just get on page 1 of Google's famous 10 blue links. It was all about where you landed in that tidy little list. If you were on that first page, you were in business. If you weren't, well, you pretty much didn't exist. But, of course, that beautiful simplicity couldn't last forever, could it? So welcome to what we call SEO 1.5. This is the era where Google itself started to muddy the waters and really change the rules of its own game.
This timeline really shows how that clean page of 10 blue links started to get, well, incredibly crowded. Back in 2007, boom, universal search hits, and suddenly you've got videos and news results everywhere. Then, by 2012, Google's knowledge graph starts answering questions directly on the page. And the real kicker? 2014, when featured snippets started putting answers above the #1 spot. All of a sudden, you weren't just competing with other websites, you were competing with Google itself. And here is the direct, unavoidable result of that change. Think about it. As Google started answering more and more questions right there on the results page, people had less of a reason to actually click on any of the links. This gave rise to this huge chunk of the pie you see here, zero-click searches. That's where a user gets their answer without ever leaving Google. And for website owners, well, that meant a big, painful drop in traffic.
So this trend, this decline in clicks, it brings us right to where we are today, SEO 2.0. Or, as I like to call it, search everywhere. And let me be clear, this isn't just another small update. It is a total revolution in how we have to think about being visible online.
We have moved so far beyond just optimizing for search engines. The new name of the game is Search Everywhere Optimization. What does that mean? It means your content has to be built to be found not just on Google, but on Instagram, inside AI chatbots like ChatGPT, on YouTube, everywhere. And if you're wondering why that's so important, just look at the numbers. Yeah, Google is still an absolute giant with almost 14 billion searches a day. But look at the other players. Instagram sees 6.5 billion searches a day. YouTube, over 3 billion. The big takeaway here is that search isn't just one place anymore. It is a multi-channel world, and your audience is looking for you everywhere. And the engine behind this entire seismic shift? It's AI. See, AI models don't just hand you a list of links and say, good luck. No, they digest information from all over the web to give you a single, direct, synthesized answer. For the user, the time it takes to go from question to answer is now practically zero. This really shows you how the goalposts have moved. It's no longer just about driving traffic by ranking for a keyword. The new grand prize is to have your brand mentioned and cited directly inside those AI-generated answers. The focus has completely shifted from being just a link to being the actual source.
So how in the world do we adapt to this new landscape? Well, the strategy has to be about so much more than just climbing a list of rankings. The new mission, the new imperative, is to actually become the answer.
Okay, let's break this down. In the past, the whole goal was clicks and traffic, and the main platform was Google Search. Your tactic? Keywords and backlinks. Today, the goal is brand mentions and sheer visibility, and the platforms are, well, everywhere. Google, ChatGPT, YouTube, social media. So the tactic isn't just keywords anymore. It's about building authority across all these platforms. And the metric for success? It's not your ranking. It's how often you're cited as a trusted source.
So how do you get an AI to trust you? How do you become that source? It's all about sending the right signals of authority. The AI is looking for things like, how often is your brand name just mentioned out there on the web? Who are you mentioned alongside? What's the feeling of those mentions? Is it positive or negative? And maybe most importantly, are you a primary source? Do you have original data and research? In this new world, your digital reputation is absolutely everything.
And that leaves us with one final, really crucial question you need to ask yourself. In this new age of AI, is your brand going to be just another link in a long list, or is it truly becoming the answer?